Y'all already know what's the motherfucking deal, man. Welcome to Soft Sports. It's your boy Ed Honcho. Again, familiar with Soft Sports. Soft Sports, the Houston Texans Homer Network. We be talking all sports, but only Houston. Today we're talking about how the Texans got their shit pushed in by the Cleveland Browns. We'll talk about the good, the bad. I'll make it quick. We will be live shortly. By the time you see this, maybe it's later, whatever. Make sure you go check out the live. We'll be taking calls on the Sauce Line. Make sure you follow all the proper social medias, Soft Sports HTX on X and whatever. Anyway, man. So 36-22. Outcome of this game was not like I predicted in the pregame, not even remotely close. We got a lot of conversation to have as far as the backup role. I know a lot of people saw Davis come in and do a little bit of something against backups and guys who had already given up on the game, who didn't care, playing soft coverage. Anyway, y'all can take that as a glorified, whatever, or a victory, moral victory. But let's be honest, they don't respect Davis Mills. They play soft and wasn't expecting him to do shit. He made a couple little plays. It is what it is, right? It was better to see that score than to see what it ended up being because, man, that shit was ugly. But we got a lot to talk about. That game was not as bad as what you think it is. The Browns came in and beat the Texans backups, right? And then almost let a backup come in and, get the game back in hand. I'm not going to sit here and say that the Texans didn't have their fair share. The offense was atrocious. The defense was egregious. Y'all making me rethink all that light-skinned praise I gave to Stingley because Stingley was getting cooked by Cooper. I was talking about, he can lock down Cooper. First it was old buddy, the unknown Ross or whatever. Shit. Fucking Cooper was cooking Stingley the same way, so it don't even matter who you put on him, right? And then they use that old Texans offense, that old throwback Texans offense to bite us in the ass. So if you actually a Texans fan that's been around long enough, prior to the big name quarterbacks coming out and sounding cool. You remember that. You saw that, hey. And what did I tell you? I told y'all before the game, he's a glorified fucking Matt Schaub. I told y'all he's a glorified Matt Schaub. Joe Flacco's best years parallel Schaub's best years, especially when he was a Texan. He's a glorified Schaub. And what did you see? They pulled old Schaub and Andre out on us, right? They pulled old Schaub and Andre out, and it was like, damn, I know that. We used to be doing it. What? And then so it was terrible. Anyway, single pedestrian. Shout out to DP. Y'all trying to we need to trade Damian Pierce. Damian Pierce ain't gonna. Damian Pierce had the only real points on the board for y'all besides garbage time. Y'all want to trade Damian Pierce. Shout out to Damian Pierce. I told y'all before the game I fuck with Damian Pierce. And y'all, I don't know. We just, don't know, Huncho. But you have this weird love for Damian Pierce before he doesn't do anything. That nigga's the only motherfucker putting points on the board today. We talk about, we're going to talk about how that whole secondary got embarrassed. Petrie got benched. And it was nothing that Cleveland did that was great. It was nothing that they did was great. It was a couple of plays that they had a couple of big plays. You take those plays away, it really wasn't anything that they were doing consistently. It was the defense not being able to wrap up on tackles when they had guys in good position behind the line of scrimmage, letting guys get that extra yardage, being out of place, Stingley getting snagged. All the guys getting snagged don't make it. Our wide receivers weren't making it. We can talk about Case all you want to. There were plenty of throws that could have went for first downs that were hitting guys in the hands, and we're not cut Mechie. I know y'all want Mechie to be that lovely story. I know y'all want Mechie to be that story of the Texans, another one of those redemption. Who was that? Not Allen Ball. Who was the other guy, the DB we had that got sick and came back and was balling? I can't think of his name. Drop his name in the comments if you can remember. I can't think of his name right now. I know y'all want him to be that. Mechie's not going to be that. Mechie can't catch, bro. Mechie can't catch. I've been calling him Sketchy Mechie for the longest, right? Mechie can't catch, bro. I know y'all want Ketchy to be, y'all thought Mechie was going to be what Tank Dell is. Maybe somewhere else, maybe not with this offense. Maybe he needs that chemistry with CJ, but on his own, on his 10, he's not that. Big Nico, not a top 10 receiver. Bro, had passes hitting him in the hands that he was dropping. He had plays that should have been money that he wasn't catching. He's not a top 10 receiver. I like Nico. I'm not knocking Nico. He's not a top 10 receiver in the league without CJ Stroud. Light-skinned Stingley, all that shit is good and all that shit. He wasn't locking out old last Amari Cooper. I'm not going to say who it wouldn't have happened to because, he's a weirdo now. We ain't rocking with him. But maybe if the Texans would have made a different draft pick, it would have been a different situation. I'm not knocking Stingley, but Stingley's a big playmaker, right? Lockdown, I get it. But people will test Stingley because you can. You can test Stingley now. He'll make some plays. He'll make you pay if you test him too much. But he wasn't doing that today. And now that little bullshit ass picking end zone coming out was a give. Nobody cared about that, right? It looked good, pad the stats, cool. Pad the little stats, make the game, end of the game look better than it was, cool. Joe Flacco was pedestrian, bro. 27 for 42 for 368. That wasn't great. Threw 2 interceptions, bro. It wasn't great. It was 3 or 4 plays he had damn near 200 yards on with Amari Cooper. So you take those 3 or 4 plays out, this was not that great of a game. Again, but the Texans let this motherfucker look like he was better than old Joe Flacco. Him and Amari Cooper was I don't know, fucking Young Rice or some shit. I don't fucking know, right? Um, fucking yeah. Jerome Ford didn't have a great game. Their leading rusher he had 15 carries for 25 yards. Texas defense did that. Evan Singletary had 9 for 44. Amari Cooper 11 fucking receptions for 265 fucking yards. 2 touchdowns. Our leading guy was Dalton Schultz with 6 for 61. And that was late in the game, right? Bro, overall, it was a terrible showing by the Texans, right? Overall, 417 total yards for the Browns, 364 passing yards, 53 rushing yards. Like, we didn't even crack 100 in the fucking rushing category, right? And I know Case was ass, bro. And I don't do Cougar slander on this channel. We don't slander the Cougars. You feel me? We don't do Cougar slander on this channel, right? You see my hat and got turned back. I got so mad I ain't even got my hat on the right way. But we don't do Cougar slander on this channel, so I'm not gonna slander. I'm trying not to slander because Case was, boy, look, Case. Thank you. Thank you for your service, right? You're a veteran. Thank you for your service. Hey, go take the long walk into the sunset. Cool guys, don't look at explosions. Watch, just sit on the bench, Case. It's a wrap, right? I know it wasn't all on Case, right? The consistency wasn't there. The momentum when the running game wasn't there. Like, we needed that running game to get going, and it just wasn't there, right? So, again, I say all this to say that you line me up with C.J. Stroud, healthy Nico, and you give me Grenard. We lost Grenard. We lost Ward. We lost somebody else. You basically, like, there was niggas on the field that you never heard of before. Like, you didn't even know was on this roster still, right? So my thing is, great job of beating the Texans back up. Salute to the Browns for that. But you ain't beat shit, right? You didn't really beat shit. Like, nobody was on the field. There was a bunch of unknowns. Like, half the starters weren't playing. If we're talking about offensively and defense, I don't know, well, we lost a lot of guys too. Shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear about that shit. Y'all lost a pervert and a fucking some other unknowns, right? We don't give a damn about that. But anyway, it is what it is. I said I wasn't going too long. I'm just dropping a little bit of sauce in. Make sure y'all check out the live. Live, by the time you're catching this, or immediately, somewhere around 4:30 if you ain't catching it live, go back and watch it on the channel. Anyway, Texans got their shit pushed in. It was not a good win. Still in the playoff hunt. Kind of there's a piece that's going to have to fall into place. We'll discuss everything that needs to happen for that. So make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you share the livest conversation in Houston, the freshest flavor in H-Town sports, Sauce Sports. So, I mean, look, if it ain't sauce, it ain't shit. You feel me? Shout out to the round table, shout out to Spit, shout out to Wink, shout out to Wise, shout out to the Trill. I got to eat crow on that. I don't want to do it. Shout out to the 10 man, shout out to D Davis. Shout out to J Mail. Shout out if I dish out with me. Shout out to Broderick for whatever reason. I don't really want to shout Broderick out, but shout out to Broderick. And shout out to the whole Sauce Nation, man. Y'all, it ain't no sauce without the fresh ingredients. So shout out to the whole Sauce Nation. Anyway, drop in the comments it was so many to name, the single-handed worst aspect of this game to you, in your opinion. So with that being said, it's your boy Ed Honcho. Got plenty more to say when we go live. Make sure y'all call in and drop your thoughts on the sauce line. Y'all be cool like y'all be cool. But most of all, y'all stay saucy. And we out. Support the channel. Hit that shit right there. Hit that shit right there. We out. Adios, amigos. The real, the other side of H-Town. You don't need to do it for the other side. You feel me?